Hey everybody, welcome back to Great Lakes Junction. We're in the kitchen again today. If you're new here, my name is Tammy and thanks for stopping by. We are going to be doing a video for Christmas in July, and Jenny from Scratch Made Kitchen has organized this all. So thank you, Jenny, for letting us participate again in another collaboration. We absolutely love them. There has been a few great recipes and ideas for getting ready for Christmas that have gone up already, so make sure you check those videos out. I'll leave a schedule of everybody's videos in the description below. We're going to be making gingerbread scones today. A sweet treat, but not too sweet because everybody gets enough sugar at Christmas. But it's great for Christmas time, and it's great for right now just to have with a cup of coffee. So with all that said, let's get to it. Okay, so first of all, we have a couple of cups of flour, and you don't have to run it through a sieve. I'm going to, because I seen it looked kind of clumpy. I really don't want any clumps, and the same with my baking powder, looked kind of clumpy as well. So we're just going to run it through a sieve so we don't have any clumps in there. When you're making scones, great idea to have everything cold. It makes for a better dough when they go in the oven. Yeah, we do have a lot of clumps in there. Now I'm going to leave the recipe down in the description, just in case I miss calling something out. So that's 2 cups of flour and a tablespoon of baking powder. We have a teaspoon of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, and a pinch of nutmeg, and we have a half a teaspoon of salt. So we're just going to mix that in there. We're going to mix this together quick. Now you want to put a half a cup of butter in here and work it in until it looks like a crumb. Now what I've done is I've grated it so you can see, but I've put it back in my fridge to keep it cold. You want the chunks to stay in there, and you're going to be working this with your hands, so the colder the better. Okay, and then we're just going to work this up and get the flour and the butter all incorporated until it looks like almost like an oatmeal. So you just want to pinch it together with your fingers and work with it as fast as you can. And all that butter that's in there when it's baking will help it get layers and become really fluffy. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. Just takes a little bit. If you want, you can cut this up into the butter into cubes and just do it in your food processor. Goes a lot quicker. My food processor is very small, so I just do everything by hand. Okay. Now I have 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. The recipe I was using calls for white sugar, but it's gingerbread. Brown sugar goes much better. So there's 3 tablespoons of that. And I'm just going to mix that in there quick too. If you hear any weird noises, it's our new puppy. He is a crazy dog. He's always finding something to play with. Okay, So we're gonna make a little well. I have half a cup of very cold milk. And if you want, you can use cream with this or half and half. I'd stick with a higher fat content, makes it a bit softer. I wouldn't go below 2%. You could try it if you want, obviously. And we have a quarter of a cup of molasses. Just make sure we get all of that out of there. I actually oiled this measuring cup before I put the molasses in, so it came out really easy. And then we're just gonna mix this. Don't mix it too much. You don't want to overmix, because they will become very, very tough if you overmix. So you just bring it together, and then we're going to put it out on the counter, and we are going to work with it on there. And I am just going to get a little bit of flour to help us work with that on the counter here. And you just want to fold it over onto itself until it forms somewhat of a dough and comes all together. Fold it a few times, get all the crumbs in there, make sure it's incorporated, and that is it. You want them about 3/4 of an inch thick. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make them look very rustic and just put it down like this. And then I'm going to cut it up into 8 pieces. I mean, if you want to make it thinner, you can go ahead and do that. You get quite a few more out of it. Okay, so we're just going to cut this into about 8 pieces. And we're going to put it on our baking sheet there. I can't wait to try these. And we've preheated the oven to 4 1/4. We're just gonna put these on our baking sheets. We'll leave a little room for them to expand. So they've got enough room to expand, so I'm going to throw that in the oven. I'm going to make up just a drizzle for the top of them. And we need about 2 tablespoons of butter, melted. And you want a cup of, I'm making a mess here. You need a cup of icing sugar. Just stir that in just a little bit so it melts down a bit. There. And you want half a teaspoon of vanilla. And you want a couple of teaspoons of maple syrup. I'm just going to do that for now. A lot of times mine drizzle gets too thin. So we'll start out with that for now, and then if we need to, we can add a little bit more maple syrup. Now keep in mind, we didn't put a whole lot of sugar in these scones, so this is going to be the sweetener, and if you don't want this on top, by all means, don't put it on. You could actually sprinkle a little bit of coarse sugar on the top before you put them in the oven too. And that would add a little bit more sweetness. Whoop, just put a little bit more on. That's it. I'm just gonna whip this up, make sure it's all incorporated, and then once our scones are done, we will bring it back and get this on the top. Look at that. They smell so good. I'm just going to put them on this cooling tray and we'll get them cooled down and we'll put our icing on. Okay, they're all cooled off now, and I'm just gonna ice them. If you wanted, you could get a piping bag and just drizzle a little bit on the top, but I've got enough icing here. I think I'm just going to put some on it like this. If you didn't want the icing on it and it's a little bit too sweet for you, you could just sprinkle some icing sugar on the top just to give them a little bit of something on there to make them look a little bit prettier. Now if you wanted to, and these are for Christmas, you could actually drop some sprinkles on there as well and make it look a little more Christmassy. My house smells so good right now from these baking. It absolutely smells like Christmas. So I'm just going to continue icing these. And there we have them. They're all done. Give the recipe a try. I absolutely love it. It's not too sweet. And even with a little bit of a glaze on it, it's not that sweet. So let me know how you make out with that. Thanks for stopping by. And do make sure to check out all the other channels that are participating in the Christmas in July collaboration. And until next time, stay safe.